Well, I guess we're ready to start. I guess you guys got our conversation that we voted on 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I wasn't here, and I was curious what that was. I guess.
The engineer did not believe that Service Road would meet qualification for farm to market,
Okay, okay,
and so we voted not to accept it.
okay. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to come today, because you're putting aside whether you want an airport, okay? But the main concern here is a farm to market road. If we're gonna discontinue 220th Street, replace it with something that's equivalent to a farm to market road, is that?
I think that's our only option at this
Yeah.
point, to try and keep as much
Sure,
traffic off of 163 as possible.
yep, and that's always been the goal.
Well, and we lose our farm to market funding on the rest of that road, right, if we don't connect?
Yeah, we've got to designate some other roadway to meet the farm to market to keep our money
To keep
flowing.
some funding coming, okay, because I don't know about farm to market roads, so that's what I wanted to know.
I think they gotta connect from one farm to market road to another.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gotta
So
be
if you chop one off, you lose the funding on the whole thing.
Lose that funding on
Yeah.
the thing, and
Yeah.
if you
That's the way I
replace then
understand
you-
it.
Okay,
So,
okay. And so, I don't know where we go from here. I had a thought, and I don't even know if it's a valid thought, of getting a kind of a subcommittee put together to talk about it, maybe a member of the board, your board, maybe a member of our board, maybe a member of each city council, to sit down and try to figure out something, if something can be figured out, to work through the process, because it's difficult. You guys know, it's difficult when you come together every 2 weeks and you kind of do this chat, and I think we both tried. And the problem you've got is over everything is this lawsuit pending, and that makes it difficult to talk to. So, is that of any interest to you guys, or are you looking for either I presume it would probably be the cities, because they're the parties of the 2080 agreement, just looking for the cities to come up with another possibility and bring it back? Or do you want to be kind of a part of a discussion?
I guess it doesn't matter. We talked about doing 235th, but if you got other ideas, I guess we're willing to consider them.
Yeah, 235th is obviously a pretty expensive proposition, because you've got to acquire some land to get there, right? From
Yeah,
Independence.
just from, but if the Iowa DOT plan goes through, that will all be accomplished.
Yeah, and that's years from now. We all hope that goes through, but I don't know. And that, to me, I don't quite understand. Where was that drawing? Here it is.
Have you heard more?
Yeah, this one.
Have you heard more? Did Iowa get that on the 5-year plan?
It was on their draft plan. They'll vote on it in July. June.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
June.
on their draft plan.
What part of June?
But you've got,
First or late? Okay, I don't
Whatever
know
their
either.
commission meeting is, I don't remember.
you've got, this was your kind of a drawing that I think your engineer or somebody put together of this, and, is this meant to follow the bypass if it's built? Because that's a 4-lane road just like up here, and I guess I was confused as to why you,
Is the
be more
bypass gonna
comfortable.
be, is the bypass gonna be a 4-lane or 2-lane?
well, it's still gonna be pretty quick traffic, I guess. I don't know if it's gonna be 4-lane or 2-lane.
I thought it was gonna be
honest
2 lanes.
with
The only thing we was gonna do is tie into it to have an overpass over the 4-lane highway
Okay.
versus trying to cross it with all the
Oh, I
the
see.
long,
Okay,
wide equipment.
Okay.
We're just trying to get rid of a bunch of congestion either right there in that area. That's what we thought would be the safest.
Mhm.
And the DOT, if they do that, they're not gonna allow to have a straight yellow line to hook up with Independence anyway, I don't believe, because all that's gonna be regulated for on and off it,
Yeah.
exits anyway.
So, okay. So, that's the thing, I'd like to see if we could come up with some solution. You got Independence Avenue here, 210th Street here is a mess, I know that. And it probably wasn't on the thing you just approved for your 5-year plan.
it's kind of a low-traveled road.
Yeah, well, for good reason, right? I mean, it goes,
Well, you use 220th, so they don't go, you're
Yeah,
gonna go down a road like that when you got
yeah,
220th.
when you got 220th, yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, to me, that's always made some sense from Highland to 210th. but it's, gonna cost money, obviously,
Yeah,
so.
'cause you gotta bring 210 up to farm to market standards, it's gonna cost
Yeah.
you the same as doing 235th, we just thought 235th was a better route.
Yeah.
Made more sense to us, but.
Yeah, and I don't know if this, I don't know, comparative costs or not, actually, it's $1 million a mile, like you said, to build a road.
No, the only advantage is if we use an existing road, we already own or have leased to most of it.
Yeah, that'd be the case down here as well as up here.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm not sure where we go from here. It was a thought, if we get a group together to talk about it. Alternatively, as time goes on, the cities can continue to discuss it and bring concepts in here. I just wanna, from my perspective, trying to build this thing, I wanna see conversations continue. That was one way to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
It's up to you
I
guys.
mean, we can't make a decision here today to prove anything anyway, since it's a work
No,
session, but.
No, I wouldn't. I'm not asking to, just food for thought.
Yeah.
Because those seem to be the only, I mean,
Understand.
we could probably help. make
That's
some-
why I tried to warn you, it might run late. I didn't,
Probably make some improvements on Independence.
I didn't want you guys to come over here at 10 o'clock and
But
wait.
I don't know how
so.
we pay for, we can't get federal funding for all that.
What do you think the time frame on all of this would be? You said, not if, you won't know until July, 75-year program.
So then it'd still be another 5 to 7 year job.
Oh, so their 5-year plan doesn't necessarily mean it's going to get done in the 5-year plan either?
Well, they have funding for it. Yeah, it would be 23, 24, I think is what it showed.
So if they vote for it in June and approve it, then in the
It's
next
still
5
in the
fiscal
out
years.
It's still out in their plan. I think it was 2024, if I remember right.
So you need some interim, something to happen in the interim between when all this happens. And this won't happen overnight. By right away and build anything. It's a pretty big project.
With this bypass around the thing that nobody particularly likes, it's kind of like a divorce. If nobody likes what came of it, it was probably a good deal. But if there's this bypass, could that serve as an interim possibility? I don't know. I know you
Not
said
for
no.
farm to market funding, it won't. I wouldn't
Yeah,
think.
you have a
So-
funding issue.
You know, and 220th is what, 5-6 miles, so you lose 5 or 6 miles of funding. That's what we're trying to
Yeah.
avoid, because we don't have any extra
Yeah.
money, I know the city does, but we don't.
Yeah, they're loaded.
Well, after listening to your earlier meeting, it sounded like you got plenty on your plate.
We do. It's just the way it
There's
is.
a lot to do.
So there's no way of temporarily designating, keeping the designation for farm to market on current road and then shifting it here on a temporary basis?
That one ain't
Don't
up to
lose
farm to
that?
market standards, I doubt if they would approve it. It has to be.
Independence, you mean?
Independence might be farm to market, but on 235th, I'm sure it's not. What would you say, Mark?
No,
No,
I'm
it doesn't
saying
need to work.
keep it so that currently, so you don't lose the funding, is what I'm trying to get the end game where you don't lose funding. So you keep it that way until you can. The concern is you're gonna lose 5 miles of farm to market road. Well, you could keep that designation by just making that the farm to market. Would that be a solution?
We can go talk to the engineers, see what they say, or somebody can.
And again, I apologize, guys.
Yeah,
No, I
you gotta go,
understand.
you gotta go. No, we can just ask questions, because,
And the only question I had was if the vote from the last meeting, was there any additional information? Because the minutes were just pretty basic, which is understandable. But if there was other background to go along or context for the votes, that would be helpful, because we're gonna have to go back to the councils and say, okay, the county has said no initially to participation. What is our opinion on paying for the $3 million road? So we're gonna have to give you a response.
Yeah, I guess, or you want to know?
I'm just gonna leave that and
Okay,
I'll follow up with you guys.
okay,
Thank you.
thanks. Have a great meeting. I understand it's a pain when you gotta run from one run to one run. Pretty soon your head's circling and,
I'm getting stuck. So anyway, Did you get that?
I'll review it later. We'll try to make some,
So, anyway, that kind of is indicative of why I was suggesting maybe a smaller group, because they could actually communicate, and then wouldn't have to go back to their council and find out stuff and, you know, do that sort of thing, but that's I'll just throw that out there and let you guys think about it, if you want to do that. Other than that, I don't know that I've got, Jerry, do you have any other food for thought on this deal?
No, I mean, I understand, what the Board of Supervisors
And I get,
are communicating,
I get
that's
your.
not a problem, I get it.
Yeah, and I hadn't known that before as far as losing all the funding for the entire.
But I think it's
so-
got to connect from one to the other. That's why the purpose of it is your
Okay.
infrastructure of your county and.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
I think I agree with you, Jim, I think we need to find a way to keep this connected, we don't want, we're trying to bring money into the county and send it out.
Yeah.
So I think we need to work to do that. And this is certainly one alternative, and I just question how we work the interim until this all gets built, because even though it puts in the 5-year program, it could get pushed back, so we do in the interim. And then, as we discussed last time, we thought, well, the service road, if that provides that connection, that keeps that funding in place, if that's acceptable, but it doesn't sound like that's gonna work, so let's forget talking about it.
Well, and the problem to me, and I made it at the last meeting, is a service road on somebody else's property. They could close it in a month and there's nothing we can do because we lost all control.
Yeah.
So,
I-
that's the problem I have with building a service road,
Mm-hmm.
is it's on the FAA or the federal government's property. They can come next month and say, okay. I mean, I wouldn't build my house on somebody else's ground. I'm probably not gonna have a road built on somebody else's either. And that was my point at the last meeting, so that's where I'm at on that, so.
Yeah. That's fine, I think, and I don't like saying, you know, we might as well move on to what is gonna work.
Right.
You know, keep talking about.
Because
what
nobody
isn't.
guarantees the bypass is coming, and then if we're gonna build the airport, we're just gonna have to shoot across there. But we wanted an inline shop in, I mean, we wanna buy enough property to line it up, and instead of jogging a quarter mile or
Yeah.
whatever it is on the 4-lane, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So FAA could not get involved in any of this, because that's really just a totally different project, they're not connected, it's not knowing what's gonna happen.
wonder why they couldn't, because it does involve the road closure.
If, at the time, as we mentioned before, what was, that the various alternatives that were considered, the one that was settled on, the issue was the slow-moving farm vehicles, not so much the farm market funding scenario. And so thus, that's where this service road idea came up, was based on safety. It was the primary concern. So we kind of passed that point in time. Can't really do anything now unless you went back and opened the whole thing back up again and starting over, essentially, what it amounts to. But I think getting it narrowed down to the issue, address the safety issue, address the farm-to-market funding scenario for continuity is what I'm taking from the Board of Supervisors, is to be the single, the key issue, keeping that funding in place. And this scenario, in the long term, is great. The question is, what do you do in, between now and whenever this would get constructed? So, Jim suggests you could look at 210th, that provides continuity, keeps the funding in place. This ultimately might then become a solution. So
Yeah, we'd have to check on whether 2/10 would qualify or what would happen. I can't, I
Yeah.
can't answer that without going it through the engineering department. They
Sure.
should be able to get us an answer, so.
Yeah, I think, and that's why I like your guy bringing that up, because you gotta, from just how long these projects take to develop.
Well,
To get a line on a drawing and
Well-
10 years later, you're.
a little bit of a 210 such a it's just a mediocre road, and time you fix it, halfway up to even
Yeah.
make it where you can get what you need done, you probably spend a pile of money there.
Yeah.
To spend at both places don't seem like, to me, that'd be a good alternative for the city, but
Depends on how.
we'll take all the gravel we can get, so to speak, so.
I think the theory behind 235th was the current 220 that picks up a lot of traffic from the south and southeast and diverts it to the east. And I was hoping that it would divert it now to the 235th instead of going north a mile and doing the same route. I think what the engineers were thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, if you could wait until all this got built, that.
We can.
What's the time frame? Once it's a go, is this like a 3-year project or something like that?
Well, they're gonna have to buy a lot of right-of-way through here
Yeah.
in this groove. It's a lot of parcels, that's probably gonna take a year, maybe a couple of years, you know, you figure, and then they're gonna have to grade it, and then they're gonna pave this, and they're gonna have to build this interchange. This interchange probably, you know, they can spend a chunk of, quite a bit of money on that, rams, and then you're gonna make these tie-ins and these connections. So it's a big project, it's a huge project. In fact, it's bigger than this, you know, for that matter.
Yeah,
You know,
Yep.
right away.
I mean, and there's a lot of other, you know, connecting. So, if we got into 5 years, and those 5-year programs, sometimes those things get budgeted. It's kinda like your 5-year program. Something comes up, it gets pushed back in year 6, so it stays in there and just keeps rolling on. You know, if 10 years went by, it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but I'm
Yeah,
just,
They're government entity on a bigger scale.
yeah.
Comes to them priorities. I'm
Right
not-
now, I think a lot of funds are gonna go around the I-29. I mean,
That's what I was thinking, how can they even designate a 5-year plan when they got a mess in western Iowa?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know when those, it's just like you guys mentioned, you don't know when Mother Nature, you mentioned it,
Right.
when Mother Nature.
Or they bring in windmills and just destroy a road, bringing in windmills, you gotta fix it, I mean, that's the way it is. So the last road we paved wasn't even on the 5-year plan, just because of the windmills and stuff coming in.
So I think the committee, if you're talking about, Jim needs to say, well, what are you gonna, how are you gonna keep Mahaska County whole, and, you know, from the revenue standpoint, recognizing these things are gonna take time, so what are you gonna do in the next 10 years?
Makes sense, yeah.
If your concern is, you know, vehicles on 163, then that's where we, you know, got into that surface road, we want to keep them off 163 until all these other customers happen. That's something that group could talk about. If it's a funding thing and you get 10 years out of improvements here on a life cycle thing, depending on what you put into this, if it's $1 million to $1.5 million a mile, what your county engineer kind of made reference to earlier today, you know, you could figure a couple million dollars to improvement. Wow, you got that improvement, but the last 10 years, that's probably maybe okay from a life cycle point of view. You got 10 years of use out of it, and then this takes its place, you know. But at least you got some improvement on it. County road improvement that you might not have anticipated. I think that's stuff you have to work out in a group and look at the time frame and the dollars and how you utilize those dollars, like you say,
Yep.
so you can get as long a life out of those dollars as you possibly can. And end up with a better system at the end of the day. I mean, it might take 10 years. I know it'll happen in 5.
No.
It's kind of like the airport thing.
Takes
You know,
time.
10
Going
years.
on year 7.
It'll
Well,
take-
for me, or,
It'll take longer, more than that, than it takes you.
yeah.
It's just
Okay.
the way these things are.
All right. Well, at least that helps me understand.
That's the way I
Better,
understand it anyway, I'm
and,
not an engineer, but that's the way I kinda understood it, so.
Okay. Well, good what, you know, I know, like I said, I just kinda dropped this idea on Schrock this morning too, so I thought of it this morning. So, you know, give us a thought if you wanna go that direction, and just have kind of a group to get together to.
Who would you propose being on the committee?
My suggestion was gonna be one supervisor, one council person from each council, and somebody from my board, and then Jerry could act as like a liaison with the FAA or something like that.
But the FAA really ain't gonna have nothing to do with the road, the way it sounds.
But, well, he's got
Right.
fairly good amount of public improvement
Well, he,
experience.
yeah, he knows it. I'm not, I didn't mean, I didn't
No,
want him
no,
on
we
the
know,
board.
we
I'm
know
just
that.
making sure we're getting everything down, you know,
Yeah.
straight, so.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5-member board, basically.
Yeah, basically. And all it would do would be to report back to the various entities and make recommendations. It wouldn't have any sort of, I'm not suggesting another 2080 on top of a 2080.
More of a committee, just.
Or just a subcommittee get together.
Okay.
What's this
Try to-
committee gonna do? I don't understand. There's only so many options there, so.
Well, you make a point, you know, it seems to me that, I don't know the answer to that necessarily, other than, giving a forum to sit down and talk about, well, what about this, what about that? How would the city council, you know, rather than having him go back every 2 weeks and say, to the council, what do you think? And they say, well, maybe you could at least have some idea what might fly, what might not fly for you guys, or for them, or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, our,
I'm just looking for
Yeah, our
a way to
engineering-
bring people together, right?
our engineering department come up with this, we just went to them, told them this
Yeah.
is our problem, and they used their expertise to give us what they thought was the best alternative, so.
Mhm.
And that's what they were asked to do, so.
Yeah.
I think it's a good long-term plan. There's nothing wrong with that plan.
Right.
It's just what do we do in the interim, you know?
That's all I got.
Yeah, we can't decide that today. It's not on the
No.
agenda, so.
Anything else?
No? Appreciate the
Yeah.
getting, zeroing down, I think like, we're getting zeroed down. It's pretty clear.
Prefer not to have a shooting range around here.
How far away from the airport can you put us?
You have to come back next public meeting and talk about this.
We just soon, actually have worked on 2 airports that had a firing range. One was Council Bluffs, which they ultimately had to close, and it was a pretty active firing. It was built down in a hole, a lot of hills over there. So they had to move that, and they had to move all the lead and clean the site up. It got pretty expensive to move
Yeah.
all that lead.
So who had to clean the lead up? Was it the political subdivision, or was it the entity that
Well,
owned
it
the
was
range?
actually owned by the airport, but leased to the police department, used by the county of Potawatomi County, is used by the police department, used by ATF, it's used by a number of
So
them.
the taxpayers had to clean it up.
Well, yeah, they got some help from EPA to clean that up. And they have another one down in Florinda, as I was telling Jim, that was a POW camp, the Florinda Airport one back in World War II. They had a firing range, so they had to take that off. Get that range, get rid of it.
Did they have to clean up did they clean up the lead there also? Did they actually go out and do tests before they had to clean it
Yeah.
up?
Yeah, had to do tests, and remove it, and of course depends on, you know, obviously, if you have, like you described out here, 30, 40 people firing and shooting, what do you say, 60 rounds, and,
They were doing about 45, 60 rounds a minute.
yeah, so you
So-
can imagine what's, after a few years, you get a little,
Yeah.
you get a little bit of lead in there.
Well, you know, if they shoot them over the water, what happens? You know, a pond or something.
Yeah, so,
Do you want to be responsible for cleaning up the lead?
They say there's a
You?
market for it. They say there's a market for
Yeah,
it.
it probably might be.
Well, there's probably a market, but you still
Huh?
Gotta find it, I suppose.
got.
They make machines to
Well,
go
there
out
might be,
and
there might be a market
stir
for it,
the
but
dirt and
Mhm.
it sorts it out.
there might be a market for it, but I don't think it's a money-making process.
Yeah.
Well,
Unfortunately, recycling's.
came
into
up a
that,
week,
too.
I don't think I'd put it on there for it, I hear.
Yeah, no. Let's see. All right, guys, we've
All
been
right.
sitting in here long enough.
Yep, thanks a lot, appreciate it.
Appreciate your
Thank
time.
you.
Yeah, you guys have a good day.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.